we're going to talk about extra point field goal block team now. Um, and I think like all of our special teams, it's really important to put yourself in the frame of mind of when does this team run out on the field. And with extra point or field goal block, in high school ball, you're probably going to do way more extra point block than you are field goal block. And so, that team's going to run out there after you gave up a touchdown. So, there's got to be a mindset of where are we in the game? Are we mentally tough enough to come out there and execute during that time? And then if it's a field goal, it could be a huge momentum change. Them getting the 3 points could be huge, but you getting a stop there, is just like a punt, just like, a turnover or something where you're getting a key stop. So something good is going to happen for one team or the other on the field goal. And then on an extra point, you get into the mindset of, having where, that they just scored and here's where you are, And so the first thing we wrote here is extra point block. They just scored. You got to have the mental toughness to try and play the next play. And I think the best teams are able to do that. The best teams are able to realize that the last play didn't matter. Yeah, they scored. It's over. They don't have a time machine, nothing they can do about it. Go on to the next play, and who can compete on that extra point block team, So this is not truly a course on special teams and the details of that. But if you watch the video on who is really competing on the plays after you gave up a touchdown, that's the mentally tough guys on your team. Those are the people you can count on. An extra point block team kind of reveals that, even on a play where maybe they make the extra point, but you still see some guys giving great effort, competing. Those are guys you can count on. So the second thing you really got to know about situationally on your kick block team is, if it's extra point, are they a team that muddles or run the swinging gate or some variation, or are they a team that lines up to go for two and then shifts to kick? Now there's a bunch of ways people do that, and you're kind of seeing that more and more in high school ball. So, are they one of those teams? Because obviously if they are, you got to prepare for it. So I think it's really important nowadays that you just have a base plan for that. Team's got to be ready for that. You don't just prepare for that 1 week a year. You got to start getting your mind right about that in the preseason and how you're going to handle those different scenarios, and then kind of have a base plan for them and then tweak them as the weeks come along. But you need to work that. And honestly, even if the team doesn't do it much, you may still want to work it every week, just because, that's something somebody easily could come out and use against you. Next thing, versus a long field goal, are you prepared to return it? If they line up for a 50-yard field goal into the half, they figure, what the heck, we'll go out there and kick it. Well, if they do that in high school ball, the ball goes past the goal line, it's a touchback. So, it's not as easy to do this as it is in college and the NFL. But if you can get a guy that's a really good athlete, that for some reason that kicker shanks it or something, and you can get that ball before it gets into the end zone, there's a lot of grass in front of you, as we've seen a few times in college and the NFL. Those extra point teams are not really equipped to cover. So if you can possess the ball and you practice that, and it doesn't hurt. If they're going to kick a 52-yard field goal at the end of the half, you put 10 guys to block, put one back. If they make it or they kick in the end zone, it didn't hurt you that you put that guy deep. But if they don't, it could really be a key play in the game to win you the game. So, practice that. Put somebody back there. Then when we block a field goal, field goals can go forward and they can go backwards. And you block a field goal backwards, then it's going to be your ball, essentially. You block a field goal and it goes behind the line of scrimmage, then there can be a scrum for the ball. Usually kids don't quite know how to act, so they just kind of scrum for the ball. But no matter who comes up with the ball, it's going to be our ball. But if we block a field goal that goes past the line of scrimmage, it's a dead ball if nobody touches it, and the ref will blow it dead and give us the ball. But if one of our guys touches the football, it becomes a fumble, and it can be a live ball at that point. If you're old enough to remember, Leon Lett with the Cowboys had one of those one time. Then, if you block an extra point in high school ball with NFHS rules, you block an extra point, then it's dead no matter what. So when you block an extra point, you can't return it for 2 points and things like that. I can in the NFL or in college. So those are scenarios we would work on our kick block team. Like I said, I think the main thing to understand on the kick block team is where's your mindset? Where are you when this team is coming onto the field? Are you prepared to block this extra point and play tough after a touchdown? And if it's a field goal, are you prepared to come in and get this stop? That all of a sudden this became where, regardless of what the distance is, it's a 4th and 1 mentality. We make them miss this kick. We got the ball. Who's mentally enough to play that scenario? And those can be some of the bigger key plays in the game. We've had games over the years where we won, 21-19 or something, and you trace it back to that team missing that extra point early in the game, maybe in the first quarter. So, if you can win, you never know what play's going to win or lose the game, and it does seem like sometimes kick block can be one of them plays that wins or loses the game. So, if you have any questions, you can message us. You can message on Twitter, Facebook, email, wherever, and be glad to help you any way we can. So, I hope that helped out.